What is up? What is up? What is up? How you doing, everybody, everyone? My name is Brian K. McNeil. I am the co-host of Let's Talk About It. First things first, as the co-host, both my wife and I, we are ministers, licensed and ordained ministers. And sometimes we have to do ministry work. And Dr. Lisa Santiago McNeil has an opportunity to do some ministry this morning. So it's going to be just me this morning. I know y'all probably sick of just Brother Brian, but I'm going to have to do it today because ministry comes first. That's just what it is. But this is Wisdom Wednesday, and I have learned how to have Brother Mark Greer's submission live. I've learned how to do it finally. Brother Uzama Ra, good morning to you. Uzama, were you watching WNBA playoffs last night? Did you watch Indiana do their thing last night? Miss Phyllis George is in the house. Miss Phyllis George, good morning to you. I'm so excited that you are here too. We do have a topic. Wait. Is that Susan Kennedy up in the house? Good morning, Susan Kennedy. How you doing, my sister? We do have a topic. The topic is the law of abundance. The law of abundance. We're going to chop that up too. This is Wisdom Wednesday. I hope you're having a great week so far. Be right back. Good morning. My name is Brian McNeil.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeil.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like.
I'm just realizing we need to change our intro because she's not Lisa Santiago McNeil anymore. She is now Dr. Lisa Santiago McNeil. Last year, December, she became Dr. Lisa Santiago McNeil. No, Lisa's not on break. She's here. She was actually here to do the show with me on Monday. But this morning, she has an opportunity to serve in our work, which is ministry. What is that? Lena Hopkins in the house. Good morning, Lena Hopkins. She says, good morning, Brian, Uzama, and Miss Phyllis. We will help you hold it down. I can work and watch. Thank you, Lena. I need all the help I can get. I need all the prayer I can get. And if Lena Hopkins says she's going to help me to hold it down, I should feel better because Lena can help. She knows how to help, and she's willing to help. Thank you, my sister. Uzama Ross says, yep, Skylar lit they ass up. He's talking about Skylar Diggins, a WNBA basketball player. Skylar lit they ass up. And Lisa's not on break. She's home. She's actually running out of the house right now. She's making sure that she looks pretty before she leaves the house to go serve in ministry this morning. But I do want to get into the topic. I also want to talk about how you're doing. I want to talk about some of the arguments I've had this week. Not arguments, debates. You know, one of the interesting debates is that I had this week was on Monday night, on the first and third Monday night of each calendar week, I host a group called the Sales Confidence Mastery Group. And there's some really, really smart people in the room, very smart people, high-minded and great ideals. And I host the meeting on Monday nights. But this past Monday, I wanted to talk about the role of pressure in selling. High pressure, medium pressure, low pressure, the role of pressure in selling. And I said some stuff which might have been the vestiges of my old school thinking. And I was talking about all good closing has to be high pressure closing, but you can't apply the high pressure. The clients have to do it on their own. And if they ever feel like they were high pressure, you did it wrong. And it's like, okay, so what does that mean? So I gave them an example of what I consider a high pressure thing. And they said, that's not high pressure. I said, well, yes, it is. And the room was like, no, that's not high pressure, Brian. Uzama, check this out. I told them I used to say things like, to the client, okay, thank you very much for letting me present this to you. I'm going to present it to you as good as I can. And once I finish presenting, I'm going to offer it to you as good as I can. And if you like it and you feel like you can afford it, and if you feel like you'd be better off having my solutions, I want you to tell me yes, and I'll be very happy to serve you. But if you don't like what I present to you, or you don't feel like your life would be better off having it, please tell me no. I'm a big boy. I've been told no before. I can handle it very much. But whatever you do, please don't give me maybes or I want to think about it because those are typically extended no's. I'd rather you just tell me no. Fair enough? Fair enough. Now, that is what I said to them that I used to say to my clients before I started my presentation. And I thought that was a high pressure thing to say. But the room, Uzama, they argue me down. That's not high pressure, Brian. That's fair. That's cool. I said, wait a minute. I did that back in the day. I haven't done that much lately. I said, do you guys think that would work today in 2025? And these crazy people think it would. Lena Hopkins says, hey, Susan, praying for us all. Dr. Lisa, do your ministry work, Queen. And she does. She's beautiful at it. We do serve. She probably wouldn't even want me to tell you that part of it, but that's what she's doing this morning. That's why I'm flying solo in the big chair by myself today. But I'm going to hold it down. I have learned how to do, we do have a submission for Brother Mark Greer, and I have learned how to navigate it so that we could all see it. I felt so inadequate last week when I couldn't do it. So get yourself some coffee, chill out with us, engage in the chat. The chats are open. Lena Hopkins, I appreciate you driving the chats like you're doing right now. Uzama, interesting. He says, absolutely it would work today. Interesting, that point I made, because it's a high pressure statement, don't you think? Telling the client, getting agreement from the client up front that when you finish your presentation, you're going to offer it to them. And if they feel like they're better off having it, please tell me yes. If they don't feel like they're better off having it, tell me no. You don't see that as pressure? Okay. And one of my other things I brought, they didn't think it was high pressure either. And one of the other things I brought up that I thought was a high pressure statement, if you don't do this, what will you do? Which is one of my favorite, sort of my favorite things to say. If you don't do this, if you don't take the solution I'm offering you, what will you do? If any parts of what I say, I'm a sales coach, I'm a sales confidence coach, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a sales trainer. So most of what I do thinks along the line of sales. But one of my favorite ways to overcome an objection is to ask. And showmanship matters. You can't do it with a gruff face, and voice tonality has to be right too. It's got to be pleasant. It's got to be easy. Well, if you don't take this solution, Lena, what will you do? And then you keep your face confidently expectant but quiet to give them a chance to answer. Because a lot of times that silence there gives them an opportunity to hear how silly it sounds to put off a solution that they've been looking for. That's like if you uh, uh, lose your car keys in the house and you search all over the place for the car keys. And then when you finally find the car keys, you keep on searching because you already found what you were looking for. Why are you still searching? Okay, that's how I equate it when I let them listen to that. You were looking for something and you found it, so you don't have to keep searching anymore. That's what you were looking for. Woo, I just caught myself saying something brilliant. I caught myself being brilliant just then. What? If you need your car keys, if you're looking for your car keys and you search for your car keys and you find your car keys, search over. If they're looking for a solution and they find the solution, the search should be over. You don't have to keep searching more. You found what you were looking for, unless you're not sure that's what you were looking for. Mm. Wow. It's 9:10. In 5 minutes, we're going to do a submission from our inspirational speaker, Mr. Mark Greer himself. Osama Roth thought absolutely that would work today. I appreciate you very much. And maybe because I've been teaching sales for over 30 years, maybe even I who know better, I know better. I can't sell today the way I sold even 5 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago. You have to sell the way people buy today. I preach that, teach that all the time, but maybe I'm still holding on to a phrase. Maybe I'm still holding on to some old school vestiges. Maybe I'm still holding on to that. And maybe I need to change my language. Sister Lena Janelle, baby, she says, I think it could, with an exclamation point. Work today too, two exclamation points. The room didn't see that. Were these a bunch of where were these a bunch of millennials? No, they were not. Gen X and boomers were raised to be direct. That was the group. My age, older than me. They were raised to be direct, okay? But polite. Raised to be direct but polite. I think Generation Y has had the freedom of past civil rights achievements to allow them to go hard with each other. Interesting. Interesting. Well, it's particularly interesting now in the climate that we're in. I've held back and not posted much at all. Only one post about this Charlie Kirk thing. Um, but I think I'm gonna let it go. I think I'm gonna let it go probably today because this same guy has said some horrible things. Without empathy. I think the guy in the White House has no empathy either. They don't care about other people's plight. They don't care about their journey, what they have to go through on a day to day basis. If you cared at all about what other people have to go, how could you take away food assistance from them? You don't know what they're going through. You're not even curious about what they're going through. You don't even know how that food assistance might be the only food that child gets that day. And you're saying, I'm taking it away because I don't care the result. So with no empathy, no curiosity, you could just say any kind of thing and act any kind of way. I don't think I'm gonna hold back on that anymore. Dr. Deborah, good morning to you, Dr. Deborah. I'm so excited that you're here too. The pretty Dr. Lisa Santiago McNeil is out this morning handling what our mission is, our life's work. Sometimes we have to step up to the plate and do ministry work when ministry work is required. When it's required. So that's what Dr. Lisa is doing today. So it was just last minute, really. We had to make a change of plans. The mission called. So I'm gonna stay here and she's gonna do that. Okay, that's what we're doing. In 2 minutes, I'm gonna bring Brother Mark Greer up. I have learned how to do it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I've learned how to play Mark Greer. At least I tried it today. I test drove it. So I learned how to do it. So I shouldn't have that problem anymore this morning. Today's topic is the law of abundance. In the minute and a half I have left, the law of abundance, I'm just going to paraphrase what it is. Whatever it is that you're wanting is all around you. Nature is rich and it intends for you to be rich too. Food is readily available. Education is readily available. Cars are readily available. Money is readily available. The law of abundance, whatever it is that you're wanting, is all around you. The grasping of it is the game. Hopkins says, to be clear, I think your changes are good. I guess I guess it depends on how folks will receive it. If I'm working on a Charlie Kirk cartoon today, I will be quick to not take away from my client work, but my soul has to express how I feel on this seemingly insignificant and hateful man's death being treated like a martyr. Sister, I am with you. It galled me, Lena. It galled me that NFL stadiums around the country were taking a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk's death. What? On the same day where we had school shootings, this nation is rapidly racing to set the all time record for most mass shootings in a year. We're ahead of pace. We're on a record breaking pace of mass shootings, and you're going to choose to have a moment of silence for a man who talked about Black women who reached levels of political power and ascendancy. You don't know what that woman had to overcome to get to that place. What did she have to overcome to become a judge in the first place, much less a Supreme Court judge? You don't know her journey. And for you to say out of your mouth that that woman doesn't have the mental capacity and to take, and she's been taking a white person's job, that's supremacy, white supremacy. I hate that. You don't have the person who would say someone who was murdered on live camera with the police officer's knee on his neck. Murder. The person being murdered was a scumbag. How dare you say that? You don't know the person who. Oh my gosh! Don't get me started. I'm gonna go there today. Okay, my soul has to express. You're right, Sister Lena Janelle. So let's see this. Let's get this thing going here.
Good morning to you, Empowerment Duo family. You know what this is. This is another edition of Wisdom Wednesday. I am going to be brief and then I'm going to be done. The very words that come out of your mouth, that emanated in your mind, that may reside in your spirit, the very words that you speak to the world have the ability to do one of two things. They have the ability to give life. They have the ability to take away. They have the ability to say something of a positive nature. They have the ability to put negativity out there in the world. The very words that you speak will have an impact one way or the other. So here's a question for you. The very words that you speak, what is that impact that they have on someone or something? Are you wasting your time focusing on what is negative, or are you spending your time in a very profound way and speaking those words that uplift, that bring life, that encourage? We're dealing with some things as a nation right now, and the focus of words that are being spoken has come to the forefront. I don't know a lot of things, but let me tell you what I do know. I read somewhere that the power of life and death is in the tongue. I read somewhere that if I speak it to an existence, it will come into existence. Ladies and gentlemen, Empowerment Duo family, what words are you speaking, not only to yourself, but to the world? I'm going to encourage you this morning. I don't care what's in the media. I don't care what's on social media. I don't care what's out there in the universe. I'm speaking to you this morning. The very words that you choose to speak, make them powerful, make them profound, make them positive, make them full of life. Because the seeds you plant with your words have the ability to grow something of a miraculous nature. And if you don't speak a miracle, you will never manifest a miracle. Mm. Empowerment Duo family, this thing that we are all living on this planet called life is too precious to be caught up in the mundane, to fall prey to what others want you to believe, what others want you to say. If that is a fact, that life and death is in the tongue, do everything in your power to speak life. Not some days, not some moments, but every day and every moment. This race will be over soon enough. But when you are gone and people want to remember you for what you have done and what you have said, make sure they can say they always had a kind word. They always had an uplifting word. They always had a word of praise. Because Empowerment Duo family, the time to speak those words are not tomorrow. They are not yesterday. They are today. So all we have for you this morning, everybody. And I'm going to close it with the same message. You are a miracle. You are something special. You are a blessing. Those words are words of life. Live it. We'll talk to you again soon. Peace.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did y'all get that? Oh my gosh. Of all days to have this message, Mark Greer. Oh my gosh. The words that you talk about have impact. Are you going to speak kindness? Are you going to uplift? Your words have impact. Thank you, Mark Greer, for those words. Did anyone else get it? Did anyone else hear what Mark Greer had to say? Oh my gosh. I loved that message, Mark Greer. That's probably the best one you ever sent us. Oh my gosh. Dr. Deborah says they took up our whole downtown with the largest prayer vigil that we have ever had last night. Are you talking about people talking about the Charlie Kirk Day? They took up your whole downtown about that guy? Lena Hopkins says this with exclamation points. Teach and preach Teach and preach, Brother Mark. I am receiving this is the second word on making my words count. I'm telling you, Lena, when I utter or write them, love you, bruh. Thank you, Mark. Dr. Deborah says, I choose to uplift. And I love that you said that, Dr. Deborah, but I'm going to tell you, I have a word coming out of my spirit. Thank you, Dr. Deborah. That may not be uplifting for the people who want to glorify Charlie Kirk. It probably won't be uplifting to them. But it's in my soul, to quote Lena, that I want to put it out there. And I might lose a friend or two. And I might lose an opportunity or two when I say what I got to say. Because I think there's a lack of empathy, a lack of curiosity, a lack of caring for anyone else's feelings when you force that upon us, force him upon us. Him? Okay. Dr. Deborah Saul said, Brother Mark, you are right on point. So I'm going to say some stuff today, social media wise, and we're going to see how it goes. Dr. Sheila Gothard, good morning to you. She says, is this why flags were at half yesterday? I'm not sure if this is why there were flags at half mast yesterday, but I do know that they wanted flags at half mast on in the government offices last week anyway, in honor of Charlie Kirk. But I'm not sure if that was yesterday or not. Maybe someone else has an answer. Mark Greer, thank you. Timely, timely, timely. Your word was right on time with what we was already talking about in here, Mark. He says, Grand Rising to you, my brothers and sisters. Mark Greer, your word today was probably the best inspirational message you've ever sent to us out of all the ones, okay? This is probably the best one you've ever sent. I say that all the time about Mark. This is the best one. And I think it's funny because he's awesome. He's awesome. And today, oh my gosh, right on point, right on time. Your words, they do have impact. What? Mark Greer, thank you for telling us that, but teaching us that, reminding us of that. Mark Greer, if we didn't have a Mark Greer in here, we'd have to create one because we need him. Thank you, Mark Greer, for your word today. Today's topic. I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, by the way, but I do have a leading topic, the law of abundance. The law of abundance. Those things that we say we want, the law of abundance says they are already all around us. Whatever it is that we say we want, it's around us. We have to, very often, we have to give in order to get it. We have to give love to get love. We have to give friendship to get friendship. That's just how the game is played. You can't shortcut it. Okay. If one desires to have friends, one must first be friendly. Okay. So whatever it is that I want me some friends, I want somebody to hang out with, I want someone to have a shoulder to lean on. You got to be friendly first. You got to be that. Whatever it is, the law of abundance says, whatever it is that you're wanting is all around you. Nature is rich, and it was intended that we be rich too. That's how it goes. That's the law of abundance. You could take, if all the chickens on the world were eradicated today, all the chickens were gone. No more chickens, and one day they're all gone. But if you kept one male chicken and one female chicken, eventually you could repopulate the earth and chickens again. That's how the law of abundance works. If you get an apple with seeds in it, even a twig, you can make not just another apple, you can make a whole orchard. Even twigs from an apple tree can make an apple tree. Twigs of it can. Sir Walter Raleigh cured a famine in Ireland with a potato. With a potato. There were no food there, war torn, whatever. He brought some potatoes over and saved the country because they planted potatoes and now we got potatoes. The potato famine. Potatoes grew farms of potatoes. Now people got food to eat. Okay. Nature is rich. Nature multiplies. You are supposed to too. That's the law of abundance. What say you? Where's my girl, Lena Janelle, baby? Where's she at? Okay. Yes, Lena, did you get that word? She receiving that second word today Brother Mark is right on point. Brother Mark, thank you so much again. Again, this is Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I take part in a mastermind group and at 8 a.m. And there's people from all over the world in this mastermind group. We got Australia, we got Thailand, we got Canada, we got America, and there's all different times. It's 8 a.m. for me, but 7 p.m. for that person, or 10 p.m. for that person, because we're all over the place. And today's topic was the best advice. The best advice, the best life lesson is what it was. The best life lesson you've got. And it was a wonderful conversation. And I took some notes too, but I gave what I consider my best bit of advice that I've learned probably 9 years ago was be willing to ask for more help and be willing to accept more help. Be willing to ask for more help and be willing to accept more help. There was some great advice that people said that I didn't agree with. I'm going to throw some of those out and see how you guys feel. Lena Janelle says, I'm going to use my cartoons to express my disdain, humor, and art have the ability to bring light and levity to tough situations. Yes, the flags are half-mast because of this petty person. I wish death upon no one, but I have indifference to mean people who have used the platform, who have used the platform to hurt and not help. After receiving Mark's motivational speech today, I will be even more careful with my comment. I want awareness and good vibes, not more hate between each of them. Yes, Alina, thank you so much for sharing that. Mark actually emboldened me today. He gave me more courage to say what I feel like I gotta say. Dr. Deborah Dunson says, great advice. I can't do everything alone. Absolutely. Her great advice. I can't do everything alone. That's her great advice that she's got to share with you. Thank you very much. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Alone, we can't do very much. You know, and it's my favorite, one of my favorite quotes, and it comes to back being alone and being that great alone, comes from a classic movie, Mahogany. The classic movie Mahogany. Diana Ross, Billy D. Williams. The classic movie Mahogany. Anybody else who's seen the movie Mahogany? Near the end of the movie, you know, they've broken up out there at this point, and she's wanting him back by this point. But she's railing at him. She's cussing him out in a way. You mad at me because I'm a success. I'm a success. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you're not, and you're paying that, and I'm a success. He says, grabs her, says, let me tell you something. Success is nothing unless you got somebody to share it with. Success is nothing unless you got somebody to share it with. What? He shut her butt up too. Sheila Garvin says, oh yes, oh yes. My girl Lena Janelle says, unfortunately, yes. My guy and I were just talking about this. The sheer nerve of our current occupant in the Oval Office. No other president would do this. It's not Democratic or Republican. It's personal. Woo, they can fly. You want to be on camera for a second? You can come on in.
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Love you, baby.
Love you too. Woo. Meaning? Yeah. Oh, really? Woo! We got another reason to celebrate at my house today. I'm a veteran. Lisa's my wife. And we've been going through the process for a long time to get my pretty wife veteran benefits as the spouse so that she can go to the doctor on the VA, go to get college education on the VA, all these benefits that are available to her that we've been trying to go through the process to secure it. So what she just said, because she got the mail just yesterday, the first letter from the VA with her name on it without my name on it. She's fully approved for college, for school. She can pick a school and the VA will pay for it. So now she can go back to school. Not only will they pay for the school, they'll pay her money to go to school. Same thing with me. I have the same benefits too. If I go back to school, they'll pay me to go to school. but she was very concerned about the medical benefits. As a veteran, when I have an owie or a sickness, I just go to the VA hospital and they'll take care of it for me because I happen to live in a city where there happens to be a VA hospital. Um, but we wanted the same thing for my wife, but she just said as she was walking out the door to do work that she's now approved for everything. Everything? Everything. Woo-hoo, that's great. That's a great benefit to us. And we're going to celebrate that too. Yes. Lena, I feel your statement. How dare you? And it just shows a lack of empathy. You don't even care about how anybody else might feel. Nothing. Lena also says, in all caps, success is nothing without someone to share it with. She goes, I love that line. And hey, Lisa, hashtag mahogany. Congratulations to the McNeils. Sister, I know you didn't mean to do it, but my last name has two L's. I have become hypersensitive for those kinds of things. My last name has two L's, M, small c, capital Neill. There are a lot of one L McNeils, but I happen to be a two L McNeil. I know you didn't mean anything from it, but I've learned to get it right. Dr. Deborah says, way to stick with it. What great benefits. Dr. Deborah, you're right. And that's the other thing, too. If you serve, why do you have to go through so many hoops and hurdles to get benefits? You earn the right to these benefits. Why does it took me years to get VA benefit. It did, Dr. Deborah. It took me years to get it. And then my friend gave me some great advice that made me make peace with the process. He said, look at it as a part-time job, Brian. It's a part-time job to go ahead and get your VA benefits. Thank you, Lena. I appreciate you, my sister. Love you so much. Look at it as a part-time job. But it just galls me. Why do I have to go through all this? Look, I served. I gave 8 years to this thing. Okay? 8 years when I was serving this country. I wasn't doing something else. I deserve these benefits. So, oh my gosh. So to find out that my wife just got benefits for everything, and I knew what she meant when she said everything. Everything, Brian. Everything that we've been looking for and we've been working a part-time job to get my wife these benefits. Now I'm happy because now when she has a problem with her knee right now. Her knee's been bothering her. So now instead of having to go to urgent care, we could use an approved VA facility for my wife. For some dumb reason, unless they change it, the spouses have to use local doctors. The VA will pay for it, but the spouses have to use local doctors and stuff. Only the veterans get to go to the VA hospital. That don't make no sense to me either. It'd be so much better if the wife could just go to the same hospital I go to. But it's all right. We work it out. I'm grateful for that right there. Thank you, Lena, very much. The law of abundance, speaking your words have impact. What? Mark Greer, what? Oh man, it's 9:34. One of the things that we've done here for this year is around the 9:30 minute mark. We share today in African American history, 366 days of historical events and accomplishments. And we've been coming from this wonderful book by Michael A. Carson. Michael A. Carson, Dr. Lisa and I are so proud and excited that not only have we met him, but he's been a guest here on our podcast. And he was great when he was a guest. We want to get him back too. So today is September the 17th. Let's see what we got. September 17th, 16th, and there's a stand-up comedian I like named Tony Baker. He talked about in school when he teaches us handing papers. He hated when teachers would lick their fingers before they hand him a paper, and they hand him a paper. He said, not teachers. I just caught myself doing that. Today is September 17th. Wow. 1849. Abolitionist, humanitarian, and spy for the United States Army during the American Civil War. Harriet Tubman made use of their network known as the Underground Railroad. She began her journey to freedom and traveled nearly 90 miles from Maryland to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Tubman then bravely returned back to Maryland to rescue her family. Slowly, one group at a time, she brought relatives with her out of the state and eventually became the most famous conductor of the Underground Railroad. Over time, she guided several hundred other slaves to freedom. Amen. Amen. Harriet Tubman. I bet there's things about her you don't know. I think you know who she is. I bet there's some you don't know. Did you know she was a spy for the U.S. military? 1970, comedian Flip Wilson became the first African American man to have a weekly primetime comedy television show in his own name. The first one in 1970. The Flip Wilson Show earned him a Golden Globe and 2 Emmy Awards. It was the second highest rated show on network television. Wilson also won a Grammy Award in 1970 for his comedy album, Today in African American History. That's amazing. Both of those stories. Thank you very much. Let's go back. Lena says, Dr. Lisa, that is awesome. Praying for your knee. Thank you for the prayer for the knee, seen and unseen. I tell you, we need all the prayer we can get. She goes, I can relate on that. It is a blessing to have access to that type of medical care that veterans bring. It is a blessing. It is a blessing, and we're grateful to have it. And Dr. Deborah says, great accomplishment. Amen. Yes, yes, it is. So we should probably do something to commemorate it. That's another point too. Your great accomplishments, those things you do that are achievements, that goal that you reach, that task that you complete, you have to find a way to commemorate it or celebrate it. Whatever gets rewarded, whatever gets rewarded gets done. Whatever gets rewarded gets done. And even if it's just for yourself, you have to find a way to commemorate or reward the moment. Buy yourself some shoes, take yourself to lunch, do something to celebrate that thing. Because if you want more of that good thing done, your subconscious mind needs to be incented. Your subconscious mind needs to know that when we reach that goal, when we accomplish that thing, when we complete that task, this is the good that comes from it. If you want more to come from it, buy a pen, buy something, buy a blouse, okay? Do something to commemorate the accomplishment so you can get more of it. If you don't celebrate your accomplishments, if you let yourself get into the bad habit of achieving and not noting it, achieving and not noting it, finishing something and not noting it, what happens is you end up doing that less and less and less because your subconscious mind doesn't honor that anymore because you did it. You have to do it, man. Do it. My wife and I have this one word that we use, and it's innocuous. I mentioned it here before. It's not that big a deal, but it's a way that we both can acknowledge any money that we bring in, whether it's for a $20 book or a $20,000 program or anything in between. Any money that comes into the house, we say this word, and our word is cha-ching. Cha-ching. If we're not in each other's presence, we will text each other cha-ching. I even have an emoji with cha-ching on it, so does she do too. So if she's not around me, I will text her cha-ching in the amount. And it doesn't matter the amount. It gives us both an opportunity to celebrate something that we want more of. Money came in. And it doesn't matter what source the money came in from or what thing the money came in from or how much. It could be $10 or $5. It doesn't matter. Money came in, cha-ching, and we celebrate that money. Okay, that's easy. It doesn't cost us a thing to cha-ching. If you want to adopt cha-ching and you don't have a person to say cha-ching to, say it to me and I'll celebrate with you. Send me a text. Cha-ching, I brought in $10 or $20 or $5,000. Dr. Deborah, you can cha-ching with me if you want to. Anybody here can cha-ching with me if you want to. Because I need it too. I need to, especially when times are low. You need to cha-ching with other people when things are not going great for you. I used to have this adage with my sales force. I used to have a sales force for 12 years. We used to always tell stories. Everyone who sold the night before got a chance to tell about their sale the next day in the meeting. But I used to say to my guys and ladies, when things are going well for you, The meeting needs you there to feel your energy. When things are not going well for you, you need the meeting. When things are going well, the meeting needs you. When things are not going well, you need the meeting. By you willing to share your accomplishments, other people need to see that even if it's not happening for me right now, it's happening for somebody that I know. Okay. It's happening for Dr. Deborah. It's happening for Uzama Ra. It's happening for Brother Mark Greer. Somebody I know I can get on the phone with. Okay. It does something good for your subconscious mind too. Goes back to the law of abundance. Nature is rich and it intends for you to be rich too. That's how it goes. Thank you guys so much for helping a brother out. It's 9:41. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's 9:41. Now, over the years, when I've had to fly solo, I've confessed to you guys that I'm always a little trepidatious when it comes time to doing the greeting songs by myself. And you guys have been kind and you've helped me out and you told me I did okay, and that's fine. But it ain't the same without doing it without your baby. So it's time now for us to do our greeting songs and our greeting logos. And I'm going to go through it and I'm going to do it as good as I can do it. Greeting songs and greeting logos. This is our way of saying thank you to those of you who have chosen to be a consistent contributor to the podcast. A consistent contributor. A contributor is someone who puts stuff in the comment section that we can read aloud. Because this podcast is comment section driven. That's what it's, we don't just talk here, we read your comments. Everything that's suitable to be read, we will read. Unless it's nonsensical, we won't read that. But the podcast has been going on since October of 2016. So we're in our ninth year of doing this thing. Gwen Thompson, my sister, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. Gwen Thompson, greetings from Switzerland. Gwen, just yesterday, I saw a beautiful picture of you either arriving in Switzerland or already in Switzerland. I've never been in Switzerland before, but Gwen Thompson's a friend of mine. My friend is in Switzerland. I'm excited about that. Post all the pictures, Gwen. Share a bunch of pictures of you in Switzerland so I can feel good vicariously to my friend in Switzerland. I want to hear the story when you come back about what was Switzerland like, the journey, all that kind of stuff. Come back and tell the story. Your testimony, you're supposed to share your testimony, by the way. Stop keeping your testimony to yourself. But she's in Switzerland. Something had to happen to get her from Charlotte, North Carolina to Switzerland. There was a journey there. You didn't just wake up in Switzerland. Something had to happen. So thank you very much for the greeting. And I did enjoy the picture I saw yesterday. I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm about to do our greeting songs and our greeting logos. Here we go. Up first today is Miss Phyllis George. Miss Phyllis George, interesting, she's the first one in the room. Miss Phyllis George has been here, a regular participant for the whole time, for a whole 9 years. We had lots of people come and go. None of you guys are going to be here as long as Miss Phyllis because she was from the beginning. She has a greeting logo like this. Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Mr. Uzama Ra coming to us from Detroit, Detroit, Michigan. He has a greeting logo too, greeting song too. And it goes, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama, Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama. How cool is that to be known as the Bitcoin King? And that's who he is. He's the Bitcoin informant and teacher as well. He will educate you. Susan Kennedy's got a song too. She goes, I hope I did read it. My beautiful family. Her greeting song is Susan Kennedy. You're everything I've hoped for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. These greeting songs are not only fun to do, but they're actually important. Mr. William Brown educated me on the importance of doing the greeting songs. Mr. William Brown, y'all know him, y'all love him, and the way he thinks. He taught me that there are some days that he comes here where he needed his song. Whoa, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Brian, I just needed you to sing my song today. It made him feel better. He came looking for his song. Does that make sense to anybody else? But William Brown taught me that. Lena Janelle's got a jam too, and it goes, Lena Janelle, baby, we get high off our art, don't know how to behave. Ooh, that's Lena Janelle's greeting jam. Good morning, Miss Lena Janelle. This Susan. Who else? This thing's skipping around. Okay. Dr. Deborah Dunson's got a jam too. Dr. Deborah Dunson, one of our favorite people, goes, Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach. Nonprofit strategist and funding coach, and so much more. Minister, friend, Dr. Deborah Dunston. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here today. Let's see here. Sheila Gothard, Dr. Sheila Gothard. She's got a song too, and it goes, Sheila, Sheila, storms are brewing in her eyes. Oh, now normally I only do the oh part. Dr. Lisa does that other part. So I had to make my way through Dr. Sheila's jam. Dr. Sheila, it's in my head. Whenever I think about you, I think about your amazing talk that she did at Business Club. Every Thursday, that's tomorrow, every Thursday we do live and in-person networking here in Concord, North Carolina. And Dr. Sheila was one of our featured speakers one time. And she did a phenomenal job. And I remember her now, my association is her great talk, but also her seventh grade birthday picture and story. That just did something for my soul. Seventh grade Dr. Sheila Gothard planning her seventh grade birthday party without telling her parents about it. The leadership. She got all these people there at her party that her parents, she didn't wait for anybody to suggest anything. She took leadership at 7. What? That's my girl right there. I love the story on Dr. Sheila. I hope you don't mind me keep retelling it, but I do love the story. Gwen Thompson, you deserve a song, Gwen. You deserve it. Let's help us find a jam where we can put either Gwen or Gwen Thompson in it. Recommend something for us. Then it says, "Sing, Brian. Thank you for my song. We want all the musical notes you give us today. You sharps, U sharps, Z naturals, and that long E. I don't know what that means. But thank you, Lena. I need your support. I need your strength to help me through. Thank you. Dr. Deborah says, you did that, Brother Brian. I'm dancing into my day. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you, Dr. Deborah. And Dr. Deborah can dance, y'all. I synced her. I synced it. Shocky Juice, where's Dr. Lisa? And hi, Brian. See, she ain't coming for me. She came here for Dr. Lisa. Dr. Lisa is doing what we do. She's off doing ministry work this morning. So I have to carry this mantle. She's carrying the other mantle, which is a part of us. Okay. But Shocky Jones is here, and Shocky has over time earned her own greeting jam. It goes like this. Guess who's back? Back again. Shocky's back. Tell a friend. Shocky's back, Shocky's back, Shocky's back, Shocky's back, Shocky's back. I created a monster. That's her jam right there. Shocky, if you can, you want to be at Business Club tomorrow. Joseph Prigden, pastor, successful businessman, Joseph Prigden out of Greensboro, North Carolina. He's going to drive that hour and a half to come and deliver his word to us. Joseph Prigden is he's awesome. He's amazing. He has helped other people. He has taken himself, him and his wife, they've gone from loss to prosperity. A lot of young couples experience that where they lose practically everything. They couldn't afford anything. They were barely making it, making mistakes. They're taking themselves from that to prosperity. And he's got a story to tell. One of my favorite Joseph Prigman stories was, I think it was last year, might have been the year before last. He was doing this thing, the Abundance Conference, and he's going to have 3 featured speakers. Featured speakers was James Penn, Joseph Prigman, and Brian K. McNeil, us 3 at this Abundance Conference. He wanted us 3 to speak, okay, at his facility in Greensboro. I live in Charlotte. And James, I think, was either moving from Greensboro to Charlotte at the time, whatever. So when James invited me and asked me to be a speaker, and he told me who was on the dais. Now, personally, I already know that when I go to an opportunity to speak and there's going to be other speakers, I think I'm going to be the best speaker there. Okay, I already know I'm going to be. So, but I like it when the other speakers are good too. I don't want to be the only good speaker. I want to be around other great speakers, and I hope everybody's on their A game, you know. But also know it's hard to follow me. One of the great inspirational speakers here in Charlotte, North Carolina, Arkevius Armstrong. If you don't know who Arkevius is, look him up. But there was one opportunity where we were on a platform speaking, and I spoke right before Ark. Ark was the closing speaker. And he came on there, he says, one thing I've learned today is I ain't never speaking behind Brian again. Because I lit it up. I ripped up the stage. I had him going. I ain't speaking behind Brian no more. So when Joseph asked me to do that, I said, okay, I'll be happy to do it. And I'll speak whenever you tell me to speak. But I'll tell him it's very difficult to follow me on the lectern, you know. And he says, you know, Brian, James said the same thing. Really? James said, you sure you want to do that to Brian and make Brian have to follow me? Because James is awesome. He's amazing. He gives a great talk. So, but when he said that, Joseph told me that James said that. I'm like, who does he think he messing with? Boy, wait, you think you good. You think you good. And I think he's good too. And he is good. Ain't Brian McNeil good, boy. So James did his talk. And Joseph was the closeout speaker. And all 3 of us were on our A game. It was so much fun. The people that attended got value. James did a great talk. I did a great talk, and Joseph Prigman did a great talk as well. That was fun. And I love opportunities like that. And I'm looking for more opportunities. I'm actively looking for more opportunities where I could address a room. Now, I speak about sales and sales motivation, the critical skill, how to sell yourself and your services to the world. I think of selling is not afforded. The word sell is not afforded a word. I give honor to it. So I'm actively looking for an audience where I can deliver a word, a motivational, inspirational talk centered around selling. Also looking for opportunities to help organizations to sell better, particularly now. The 4th quarter of the year has only been 17 days old, but the 4th quarter of the year, for some companies, they take a dip in sales. It's a lull, it's a lag time, but it don't have to be the case. So I want to help them have a great 4th quarter because when I give a talk or a workshop at an organization, they always experience a spike in sales. And I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm skilled at it. So I want to do more of those this year. So if you can think of an opportunity, if it comes across, it won't come up every day. But if an opportunity like that comes across where I could be helpful, please, ma'am, please, sir, please let me know about it. Thank you for joining me here today. Thank you for helping me today. I want you to have a beautiful day. Remember, Wednesdays are evaluation days. How you doing? What are you doing correctly or even kind of correctly? Have a great day.